20,000.
Corpses. This was not the act of a madman. This was a calculation. A message to the Sultan himself. Commander profile. Vlad III Dracula. Known as the Impaler. Principality, Wallachia. Theater of war, the Lower Danube. Primary ambition, absolute sovereignty. To bow to no one. Signature, asymmetrical warfare. Strategic brutality!
For a moment, all transmission ceased. The silence that followed spoke volumes about the world we had lost.
The year is 1462. Sultan Mehmed II, conqueror of Constantinople, is building a new world order. His doctrine is one of aggressive consolidation. No vassal will defy him. But on his northern frontier. One vassal refuses to pay the jizya. The annual tax of submission. It is a public renunciation of the Sultan's authority. But defiance is not enough. Vlad chooses to provoke.
In the winter of 1461, he crosses the ice.
He launches a devastating campaign of terror inside Ottoman territory. Over 23,000 killed. This was the catalyst. He had baited the Sultan personally. The punitive expedition would not be led by a general. It would be led by the conqueror himself. The confrontation was a fundamental mismatch.
Mehmed commanded a 15th century superpower. Sipahi heavy cavalry. And a massive artillery train.
His was a conventional army, designed to crush enemies in a decisive battle.
Vlad's army was different. He had his loyal Viteji cavalry and peasant levies who knew the land.
He refused to give Mehmed the battle he wanted.
Instead, he turned his own country into a weapon.
Scorched earth. Guerrilla ambushes!
He attacked the Ottoman army's greatest vulnerability.
It's logistics!
The forest of the Impaled was not for the dead. It was a message for the living, to the Sultan's pride, and to his army's morale.
The Ottoman juggernaut was demoralized, but it was still unstoppable. It was a force that could not be defeated in a conventional fight.
Vlad knew this. He could not destroy the army.
So he decided to decapitate it.
The objective was simple.
They called it the Great Silence, the moment before the storm broke.
But to do this, he needed to know exactly where the Sultan slept.
So, in an act of extraordinary audacity,
Vlad III undertook the reconnaissance himself.
He spoke fluent Turkish.
Zorlu bir gece olacak gibi görünüyor.
Evet, ama şarap bizi sıcak tutar.
He knew their customs from his youth as a hostage at their court. He moved through the camp, a phantom seeking its target.
He identified the Sultan's personal tent. He had his target. The operation was set.
June 16th, 1462.
3 hours after sunset.
Vlad and 7,000 of his best cavalry storm the camp.
Their goal is not just to kill, but to create total, systemic chaos.
And Vlad unleashes his most insane tactic.
He orders his men to shout commands in Turkish.
İhanet. Vezir sultana saldırıyor.
In the darkness and panic, Ottoman units cannot tell friend from foe.
The army begins to eat itself alive.
When the Wallachian blade met the Turkish scimitar, it was a visceral struggle for survival, etched in fire and steel.
Vlad's force, a disciplined spear, cuts through the confusion. His moment of triumph quickly faded. He had stormed the tent, only to realize he was mistaking them for the Sultans. Hücum! The error gives Mehmed precious time.
The Sultan himself organizes his Janissary Guard.
This was not a battle. It was a vortex of fratricide, with Vlad as its architect.
The objective is lost. Just before dawn, he sounds the retreat.
The Wallachians melt back into the forest. Leaving behind a shattered, terrified, and self-mutilated army.
Tactically, the raid failed. The Sultan was alive.
Felaket. Her şeyimizi kaybettik. Benim hatam değil.
It was one of the most consequential victories of the 15th century. The Ottoman tide had receded, broken and exhausted. But high above the valleys, Vlad's genius was forcing the world's greatest army to concede victory. A victory so terrifying.
The intricate dance of life continues, yet we must pause to remember those who danced.
For you is the legacy of Vlad, the sovereignty he preserved, the terror he unleashed. Or the myth he became.
Whose conquest chronicle should we reconstruct next?
Nominate a new commander who will lead the next campaign of history.
The echoes of history resonate still. Explore the sagas of emperors and the clash of civilization.